and welcome to Extra Time. I'm Anne-Marie Beauchamp.
And I'm James Brackpool.
And today we've got two boxers with us, Luke Paddock and Scott Gibbins. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
So you've both got fights coming up. Yours is first, Luke. Yours is in a couple of weeks' time on the 4th. How are preparations getting on?
Preparation's going superb. Just can't wait to get in there and put a good performance on in front of Walsall Town or my local fans. So, yeah, really buzzing.
Is the pressure getting to you a little bit, knowing it's your hometown?
No, but I can see where the pressure could possibly come from being a local lad. I just want to get in there and not get too just going over the top. I just want to put a nice good performance on, really, for the local fans.
And your fight is September, but preparations underway for you?
Yeah, going well. Getting the weight down. I'm back running. Back started sparring last night, so yeah, ready for the 12th really in front of my own fans. So yeah, it's looking good.
How hard is that when you're sort of in between fights? You know, perhaps yo-yoing a tiny bit with your weight. Is it difficult to come back down?
It can be, depending how strict you are with yourself, but also obviously I believe a good boxer and a disciplined boxer should really look after the weight in between fights. That's why I think a lot of boxing, especially boxers, if you balloon up and come back down, it can affect you, drains you, so it can take a toll on your performance. So I'll just try and stay in between, lowers or maintain as much as possible I can to my championship weight.
And Scott, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with what you're saying with the dedication and stuff, but obviously with different people, their metabolism is different, so it's harder or easier to keep the weight on and off. But I think naturally, I'm a cruiserweight, but I strip down to light heavy to see how I get on. So I've always boxed at light heavy, but as I'm getting older, I'm only 22. So come 2-3 years time, I might mould into cruiser, but I'm about 6'1", so it'd be ideal to be a big light heavyweight. But if I go to cruiser, I'd be a small cruiserweight. So that's why I try and hold the weight off to get to light heavyweight.
When you said when you're resting, you get up to heavyweight.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Sometimes, like if I've got a big gap, I can just be eating casual and without even knowing. And I'm looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, I don't know how much bigger. And then people are like, oh yeah, you've gone up. And it's like, all right, I'm too scared to get on the scales now. So I hit the diet really hard, and then I start going on the scales and I monitor it then 3 or 4 times a week weigh in, and then just get on top of things. And then usually it's not a problem. It's never really been a problem. Never failed to make weight. I've never had to drain myself to make weight. So yeah, when I'm there, the diet's there. Early morning runs, training, working, so constantly burning calories, so the weight comes back down. But if I'm eating casually, then it does tend to float up quite easily.
And what's the hardest thing to give up? Is it alcohol, McDonald's?
Nah, with me, everyone's probably different. Fizzy pop, probably. Fizzy pop.
Like a can of Coke, do you?
Yeah,
or other drinks, whatever they make.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Fizzy pop.
No, I've never really drunk. Never been a big drinker. Mine's definitely sweets. Sweets and maybe the odd cheesecake.
Yeah, sweet tooth.
Not that big into crisp or biscuits or anything like that. But yeah, definitely a sweet tooth for sweets.
Let's take it back to the start for both of you. Luke, you first. How did you get into boxing? Were you very young when you started?
I started at the age of 6. It all started when my dad was talking to a doorman, saying that I should get into a gym because obviously playing up at home, hyperactive, and the doorman said you should just take him down to a local gym, and it was a boxing gym just to burn up energy. So I was quite familiar with my dad, and ever since I stepped foot in there, I fell in love with boxing, and it's gone from there really. Yeah.
And what about you, Scott?
Yeah, same again, but I was a bit later than Luke. I was about 12, played rugby, I had trials for Gloucester Rugby, and I just thought, no, I'll try something different. Begged my dad to go to the gym, because I come from a family full of footballers and boxers, so then we went down to the gym, started from there. Wasn't overly confident with boxing, but as soon as I started sparring and I started punching pads, then it was different. For the first 6 or 7 weeks doing footwork and working on drills, you think, oh, it's not for me. But then when you start punching and stuff, you think, yeah, all right, I like this. And then again, just fell in love with it. Just never looked back since, really.
And growing up, we spoke before, you said you've got similar favourite fighters. It was Hatton and Kawasaki for you guys?
Yeah.
Definitely Kawasaki, yeah.
So what was it about those two?
Kawasaki was entertaining. He had a high work rate and he could always pull things off. He had speed when he wanted speed, he had power when he wanted power. There was never a dull moment in a Kawasaki fight. Even if he was being put down like Jones or Hopkins, he got back up, had to do the job. And that's what I like about Kawasaki, true champion.
A lot of boxers we speak to say Calzaghe.
Yeah,
don't they?
Calzaghe seems to be the one that a lot of, you know, local boxers like yourselves are picking as their favourite. But he fought everyone in their prime, didn't he, Calzaghe?
Yeah.
He didn't shy from a challenge.
Exactly. He didn't shy from anyone. He beat everyone at the right time, you know, at the peak. So, yeah, he didn't dodge anything.
A couple of people say that he beat Jones when he was over the top or Hopkins over the top, but Hopkins has kept his career going because Hopkins is still fighting top-level fighters, and also Jones was on a winning comeback trail from Tava, so Jones wasn't washed up then either. So I think Calzaghe definitely beat everyone at a good time.
And in modern times, I know everyone obviously says Mayweather, Golovkin's kind of doing the rounds now. Everyone's saying they're his favourite, but anyone else kind of you guys like watching?
Just Rigondeaux for me, really. He's just a boxing wizard. Just don't get hit. He's phenomenal amateur, and he's just a quality pro. Yeah, Rigondeaux for me.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say Rigondeaux. Big fan of Mayweather. Mayweather's definitely my idol at the moment, just because been in the gym and around Mayweather, so seeing how them lot train, just, you know, it's a totally different level of inspiration.
That must have been some experience being in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. I trained with his uncle, Jeff Mayweather, and I trained with Nate Vasquez down in there on the pads. But I thought I'd be there with the amateurs, but as soon as I was there, I was training like alongside Adrian Broner, like the next bag, and like J. Leon Love, Bado Jacques.
So Scott, how did the America visit come about?
Well, I'm good family friends with Gerald McLennan, who boxed Nigel Ben. Sorry. Boxed Nigel Ben. And then basically I got in with his sister, and she wanted me to go over there and train, possibly fight over there. It was a choice between them and Shane Mosley and his father. So I chose Mayweather's, messaged Jeff Mayweather, and then he got back to me, said, yeah, we'll have a look at you, come on over, but I had to pay all the expenses myself. Got over there, trained with him. He seemed pretty impressed, so he's been messaging me since saying, oh, when you come back over. Went back over in April for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Trained with Jeff again, but then he had to fly away, and he took a fight with DeMarcus Corley to his corner. And then I trained with Nate Vasquez, and alongside them I trained with like Adrian Broner, Bado Jacques, J. Leon Love. So yeah, I was training with the professionals, I wasn't training with amateurs. So yeah, it was a great experience, really enjoyed it.
And Luke, have you ever considered going over, or the ambitions to go abroad?
I'd love to, like say South America with all the Mexicans and all the tough nuts, the tough fighters. I'd love to, but it's finding the money to and sponsorships and stuff. But I'd take the chance to, yeah.
Is it harder abroad, Scott? Is the training more intense?
Totally different. Over here, like you've got set routines. You might do like 4 rounds on the bag, 4 rounds of skipping, 4 rounds of shadow, 5 rounds of sparring. But over there, all they like to do is pads, spar, bag. Just literally, like when I was over there was an American guy, and he said, where are you from? I said, England. He said, oh, you English guys are physically fit, but we're fighting fit. I was like, what's the difference? They will spar all day, every day. We'll spar enough to do the fight, or maybe a little bit extra, but we're physically fit with, like, you know, circuits, running. But then, as I said, they're fighting fit. So they're all...
I'm only guessing here, but I'm guessing being fighting fit is what matters.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
That's what you're in the game for, fighting. Yeah. But yeah, there is 2 total different fitnesses, just being gym fit and fighting fit. If you're fighting fit, you can do rounds after rounds, even if you're tired. Your body physically adapts to being tired, even if you're in a fight. In the gym, you can just coast when you're just in the gym. But yeah, there's 2 total different fitnesses. I'd rather be fighting fit, really.
And in terms of style, Scott, you're southpaw, Luke, you're orthodox. You didn't have pretty words for each other beforehand.
Yeah. No, I don't like southpaws.
How much of a challenge is that, obviously, especially for you, when you come up against the southpaws?
Yeah, it's just different game plans, I suppose. Like, if I had an orthodox, I could adapt just like that. But with a southpaw, you have to have a bit of a game plan. And depending if they're tall, stocky, but also it can be a bit like a chess match with the lead leg. And obviously, getting your foot on the outside and not going towards their left hand and stuff like that. Little things like that, really, what can sway you from off your game plan.
You can swap notes with each other.
Yeah, definitely get me up.
Scott, do you notice the advantage when you're fighting orthodox?
Yeah, you do. You definitely adapt to it, and you definitely see the advantage of it. like Saples, you usually find Saples, they're quick counter punchers. You might get the odd Saple who'll come forward, but generally they seem to be quick-handed and they like to try and throw counter shots because that's when they can catch the orthodox. When he's trying to throw his shots, that's when they can catch him in the counter because it's easier. Definitely with the foot on the outside, but also like it can be a chess match. It can be quite boring because everyone's trying to suss each other out. But with the orthodox, they're too busy trying to think about their foot on the outside or not slipping into a left hand. So they're thinking more about defensively than they are attackingly. So then that's when the Southpaw can attack on it. Because the orthodox is too worried about his game plan of slipping, being on the outside, or again trying to block too much. So,
well, that's great. I'm afraid the half-time whistle is approaching, fellas. We'll talk to you some more in the second half. If you want to get in touch with the show, then please do. It's extratime@bigcentre.tv. We're going to pop for a quick cuppa now. We'll be back in 2. See you then.
Welcome back. You're watching Extra Time with me, Anne-Marie Beaujean.
And me, James Bretpool.
We're joined by boxers Luke Paddock and Scott Gibbons. Guys, so let's get on to your first professional bouts. Scott, you've obviously only had the one fight behind you professionally, so let's start with that one.
yeah, it was great. I was extremely nervous the day of the fight. When I got to the arena, I literally looked down the line of the queue and I literally just knew everyone down there. You know, professional boxing is based on ticket sales. And I'd done £6,800 in ticket sales, which was extremely well for a debut. And to be honest, I just thought that might make me more nervous seeing everyone I know, but it was just an absolute dream. I just boxed out my socks, really. It's probably one of the best I've ever boxed, amateur or the one professional I've had. So it just worked like a dream, and the guy just didn't know what to do with me, to be honest. And he's known for being a good game journeyman, and he's known for like having close fights with some of the like, potentially now top 10 fighters in the light heavyweight division. And I beat him easily, comfortably.
He was, obviously, as you say, he was considerably more experienced than you, wasn't he? And
yeah, definitely. The first round, his experience played a big part in it. I was trying to start fast with a jab, like little things like he was taking the step back, and I just kept thinking, why is my jab falling short? Go back to the corner, it's like he's stepping back, but I just couldn't see the step back. As an amateur, you could see the step back, but with the pro, it's literally inches. So yeah, but other than the first round, I adapted straight away. So I was just doubling the jab ups, making sure I was countering, and then you know when he was stepping back, I made the gap up basically on what he was stepping back on.
And you went on points on that match, didn't you?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I won 40-36, and I nearly dropped him in the second. So yeah.
And you're light heavyweight, but obviously with the heavyweight tag, do you want to go for that knockout? Is that kind of in the back of your mind a little bit?
Not really, no. Like everyone says, I want to be a big knockout puncher. Don't go looking for the knockouts. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. As long as I keep winning, that's the main thing.
That's all that matters, yeah.
Just win.
Yeah. And Luke, what are the memories of your first pro fight?
You're about to fight your 12th now, aren't you? So
Yeah, so
you've had a fair few.
I had a fair few, so I've got experience now on the side, and obviously when you start pro, it's just about getting the rounds in, have the feel for it. Almost just echo what he was saying, really. He's just, I sold a lot of tickets, and it's about ticket sales, and yeah, I got in there, I performed quite well. I had a shutout performance as well, 40-36, and it's just about getting the rounds in, really. Like if the stoppage comes, then it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But winning's all matters. That's all it matters.
We spoke to Anthony Joshua, and he said to us that he didn't aspire to be like anyone because he wants to be his own sort of person. Is that kind of the same for you guys? Do you not look up to think, I want to be like him or him? It's, I want to make my own mould and...
Yeah, definitely. Like, you look at, as I said, like Mayweather, and you see what he buys, you see how he lives, and you think, yeah, that's what I want. But as soon as you start thinking you are Mayweather or you are a certain fighter, that's when you get caught out. Because you're you. Everyone's unique, everyone has unique styles. Like Mayweather does a shoulder roll. Mayweather does that because he's the best at doing that. You go and do a shoulder roll, you're going to get caught. That's why Mayweather does it, because he's the best at doing stuff like that. So I believe in just be your style, be your type of fighter. And then, do you know what I mean? That's how it attracts people. When people are trying to mimic people, that's when people say, oh, he's trying to be him, or he's trying to be him. So you need to be yourself. Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, certainly. You have to have you got your own tag. Be you. Just be original. And obviously, being you. Obviously, when you start stepping up in level and being shown, the public will start seeing who you are for real, and they'll like you for that. If you start mimicking people, then you'll be like, oh, he's just the next other person. He just thinks he's Mayweather or so and so, and you just be you. Just be original.
I always wondered with boxers when they're turning pro in their first fight, are you worried in the back of the mind about taking the first hit? Is that first punch that's coming your way, is that something that's really playing on your
Might
mind?
sound really silly now. I actually wanted to get hit just to what it feels like.
Just to get out the way, almost.
Yeah, I want to feel what it feels like. I want to get hit by a pro. I want to feel it. It sounds really stupid. No different. Just there's more FUD, and obviously, being under 10 stone, I wear 8 ounce, which is a lot smaller, so it's more dangerous. The only thing as when I turned pro was I felt naked. The reason why I didn't have a vest on. Head guard was all right because the last few fights I had as an amateur, I had no head guard on. But yeah, it's a different experience as a pro, especially with them small gloves on. So
yeah, Luke boxes with the 8 ounce, but obviously me being light heavy, I box with a 10 ounce. Yeah, I again wanted to feel like I got caught. Last round, I tied my guy up, slipped out, caught me with a right hand, nice clean shot. So I sort of felt, yeah, all right, this is how it's going to be. Didn't really bother me that much because a lot of people says, oh, you see a big difference boxing without egg guards, but I didn't really see a big difference in it. Just because I think egg guards, they make you feel enclosed. So when you get caught with a shot, it feels like your head is just rattling. Yeah. At least if you're getting punched without an egg guard, it feels free. It feels a bit more natural, if that's the word. Yeah, but I couldn't really see a significantly big difference, other than not feeling so claustrophobic.
Scott, some of our viewers might have noticed that your accent isn't from the Midlands. You're from Gloucester.
That's correct.
What's the boxing scene like down there?
It's picking up. 5-10 years ago, we barely had 10 gloves of string between us. Now, as I said, everyone wants to try and be a boxer. Boxing's really picking up. I think there's 4 or 5 professionals now in Gloucester and Cheltenham, and I think around Bristol, Bath, Swindon, it's really picking up. It's thriving at the moment. So a lot of promoters from Birmingham and other places like London, they come to Cheltenham now to put shows on, and Gloucester to put shows on, because there's a lot of pros who can sell a lot of tickets. So yeah, it's definitely picking up.
And Luke, obviously, the Midlands scene, that's just getting bigger and bigger at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good place to be in at the moment for boxing. I believe though, I feel like we get neglected a little bit. Like obviously you got your good fighters like Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester, and London way. I feel like we get neglected, but obviously Eddie Hearn putting a show on last month, it's made the world of good for boxing, especially for the Midlands fighter to get your name out there. But yeah, it's on the upwards.
So you guys need to make sure that keeps happening.
Yeah, that's it, exactly, yeah.
Did either of you manage to get to that Eddie Hearn card in Birmingham?
No,
recently?
unfortunately I didn't. I had sparring the next day, so I had to have an early night. So
No, I never even know. Yeah, I was actually really hoping to go to that show. There were some good fighters on it, but no, I never managed to make it. So
do both of you go and support? Because obviously you'll make good friends on the circuit, won't you? And do you guys go and support those lads when they're fighting, and do you make sure that you're there to back them? Yeah,
definitely, because it all comes down to ticket sales as well. So sometimes, like, if my mate's struggling for ticket sales, I'd be like, go on, I'll buy a ticket off you. Because it's tit for tat, because then he'll buy a ticket off me anyway. So, but not just that. Yeah, you do go and support him. You want to see him do well, so, yeah.
And sticking with the support, I know you said you used to not like having your family there. What's it like now when your mum and dad are watching, or, you know, close friends are there?
It's quite a funny one, because my mum comes, but she's always in the bar or the toilet. Preferably getting drunk. No.
Shying away.
Yeah, shying away. She don't like me fighting. My dad loves it. He's like really supports me. That's one of the reasons why I'm here now. So, but yeah, I don't mind having my family, because at the end of the day I'm professional. I put that at the back of my mind. You just focused on one thing, and that's getting the job done and getting the W. But I'm not too fussed having family. I'd rather have family there, so it's all good.
As an amateur, not a big person on having family constantly there. Joys where, like, you know, boxing away, but that's gaining experience as well, boxing away, because you know the outtake of it. You sort of know how it goes. But yeah, as a professional now, I really enjoyed my fans being there, my supporters. Just like when you're doing that ring walk and it just erupts, there's no better feeling. Or when you get out wins and it erupts again, there's just no better feeling. But again, like Luke said, you can always hear your mum or your dad over the top of everyone else.
Yeah.
And then you hear him shout things like, hit him, and you're like, I'm trying to do that, like. But yeah.
It's good advice though, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, my dad's probably been the biggest influence in my life. Like, he keeps me on track, make sure I'm running, make sure I'm training. If I'm not training, he's in the gym with me training, pads, all that, diet. And again, my mum out is unbelievably like.
And what about ring walk music? Have you got set music, or do you change it about?
I'll try and keep to one. The Killers, Mr. Brightside. He's just, I don't know, I'm just fond of it. it just reminds me of a bit of a boxing track. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I keep to that one if anything.
What
I
about
must
you,
have
Scott?
picked about 100 different ones, and it weren't until about 2 days before I made one, then changed it, then made one, and I actually I came out to Tiny Temper Wonder Man in the end. So yeah.
How important is it, the ring walk music? Does it really matter?
Not really. At the end of the day, it's the punching what matters. But obviously, if it inspires you or gets you buzzing, then it'll help that way because it'll get you up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's always the punch and what counts. But I find with my music, if you come out to something loud, it gets you going, it makes you up for it, and all of a sudden your fans just explode if it's great music to listen to. If it's sort of slower, quieter, you know, they're going to get the support, but you know, something nice and loud, get your heart rate going, get you going, and then the crowd erupts. Just no better feeling.
And before we go quickly, we're not going to ask you because you're a United fan, so
Oh.
nothing serious in the Midlands. But obviously, Luke, you're a big Walsall fan.
Yeah. Walsall.
What did you make of last season?
No, ups and downs, but it's good to see him trying to get a bit of trophy wear at Wembley earlier this year, but unfortunately, we didn't win. But hopefully, onwards and upwards.
Season,
Yeah. Pushing top half, maybe promoted. Who knows?
Well, good luck with both of your next
Thank you.
fights, guys. Anyway, you'll
Thank
have to
you.
come back on if you win.
Yeah, definitely.
The full-time whistle is approaching on Extra Time. Thanks to both Scott and Luke for coming on. If you don't feel that we're covering your sport, then please do get in touch. The address is extratime@bigcentre.tv. But for now, it's full-time and Extra Time. Take care.
Bye-bye.